Hello and welcome to this video on Dial-Up, this little 4HP guy by Moffenzeef Modular. Let's check out what's to come before we get into it. Now, as the website states, no, it isn't broken, it's another Moffenzeef drum. Now this is a dial-up. For those that remember dial-up internet, modem sounds absolutely horrific when you pick the phone up not realising someone was on your dial-up internet at home. All those kinds of sounds, the exact kind of sounds you want in a module. But as glitchy and weird, as kind of obnoxiously noisy and odd as it is, it's great for percussion. We get some drone sources out of it. It's great as a weird noise modulator as well. The oscillator core's just got a single knob, the little computer, which scrambles this glitch algorithm. We get CV over that. There's a tail, which is just a release. So triggers thrown in, this acts like a basic decay envelope. If you throw gates in or a held voltage, you can hold this wide open. The range switch just affects the envelope times. And that's about it. It's great fun, small, useful, weird, quirky. Whatever you think it is, leave a comment. Let's get into some patches. So to go through lots of sounds quickly, we turn to my old friend, sample and hold. Simply triggering the sound, sample and hold over the sound parameter. Let's speed it up. Removing the modulation, let's just take a look at the envelope tail. Now this is a tail, a release that is added to the incoming gate signal. So if I move to say a random gate on the octo controller, notice the sound is already longer without changing that tail. So for me, I like to throw triggers into this thing. And the tail takes us from everything super short blips to pretty much droning sounds. And here's that sound parameter moving through slowly. Scanning through all your favourite memorable dial-up tones. So here dial-up is front and centre in this patch. Kick, open hi-hat, effects chain, and cricket and the GMO doing this bit. Now here's the dial-up, effects are off. And it's going through a low pass gate. Let's turn that off, or rather open it up fully. Have a sequence going in to modulate dial-up, and I'm just playing around with the length of the tail. Let's hear that with the effects off. Now because this is going into a low pass gate, I can strike the low pass gate and dial-up with two different rhythms. If I close my low pass gate, you can hear it's got a delay-like quality to it. Now if I make the notes really long, that low pass gate has been struck with a steady 16th note clock. While opening up the low pass gate, we can hear this has been struck with a different rhythm. Now coupling filters, low pass gates, VCAs, processors after any kind of voice, be it percussive or otherwise, it's nice to hit them with different rhythms and create different kind of atmospheres and rhythmic textures. So here we're simply using dial-up just to feed this quad filter in stereo into a stereo delay, Plenty of modulation going on downstream, but just a simple voltage in to dial up, so it becomes a drone. It's just a held voltage, so that tail won't release. There's no gate or trigger or note off for it to release and tail from. Droning sound out of dial up into this chain, bubbly filter underwater world. Let's try feeding it some different tones. And between the kind of harsher, kind of mini granular grain, dirt and clock noise, I like these little weird whistly sounds that he seems to put into this patch. Oh, that's pretty cool. Pac-Man trills. So probably not what you're expecting from dial-up, but it becomes interesting kind of food to seed and feed the rest of a patch that takes it kind of way out of its typical harsh dial-up tones. So here's a dirty little Moffenzeef beat. Kick and snare, and then we've got the GMO, dial-up and the muskrat giving us all these noise textures. Here's that kick and snare in isolation. Now here's everything from the Moffenzeef modules. And those first 4 16th notes in the bar, dugga dugga, dugga dugga, are coming from the dial-up through a bit of delay, some modulation over its tone, so we've used dial-up for percussion, which I think is the most obvious, probably intended use. We've used it as a drone source. Let's use it as modulation. Now here's a really simple patch, a sequenced saw wave oscillator into a nice filter, this font. Relatively clean, bit of character around that resonance, but otherwise super simple. Have a voltage into dial-up again, just a complete offset voltage like a gate held high indefinitely. So this is droning away, and using this to modulate filter cutoff. It's all sorts of kind of audio rate craziness. So let's just play around with dial-up, see what we can get in terms of modulating this filter. There's all those kind of classic formanty downsampled like sounds, but let's sequence dial-up in time with the actual sequence that is playing the oscillator into the filter and see what that gives us. And I'm going to remove the sequence from my oscillator. So there's the filter static, simple droning wave, filter not even moving. Let's get the oscillator tuned a bit lower. So there's lots of noise and glitch-like tones to be had with dial-up as a modulation source as well. So here's dial-up. Again, just kind of peppering a beat. It doesn't have to be super harsh and glitchy. Got some really kind of mid-focus, crunchy techno. And you can see that LED, the rhythm this is playing. This is going into a bit of reverb as well. Here's using dial-up as a hi-hat. Now, I would high-pass filter this normally, but I wanted to keep the sound really clear. Well, clear as much as it's buried in this beat. Now, I'll mute everything but dial-up. And the reason for this patch, other than to get it into some kind of slower, wonkier beat, is to just show the natural variance. There's no modulation, just the trigger and the output, but it's almost like we're set on a tone that's in between two other tones. Can you hear the sound move? It's got its own natural kind of glitch and variation. Rest the beat back in. So hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, head to patreon.com/DivKid to support the work that I do. There'll be more of these Moffenzeef modules coming up in future videos. I've covered the GMO quite a while ago, I'll link that in the description. How would you use glitchy drums? What would you be doing with this kind of glitchy, chaotic sound source? It'd be nice to hear in the comments and discuss it. I'll see you next time. Cheers for watching.